focus what is transpiring in the Middle East. Hamas has agreed to turn over the bodies of at least 26 hostages who died in captivity. Yet so far, at the end of the 72-hour window stipulated by the truce, only 4 coffins have now been received and identified by the Israeli military. This has now sparked outrage among some Israelis. Now, aside from the prolonging pain and suffering of families, there is concern that failing to recover the remaining bodies of deceased hostages could have diplomatic repercussions as well. This is the latest that we are tracking, even as Israelis have celebrated the return of the hostages who are still alive. There were scenes of jubilation at the Hostages Square yesterday itself. Only 4 of the 28 hostages who died in Hamas's captivity have now been returned. Joining us on the broadcast is Mr. Matty Zwakes, geopolitical expert from Tel Aviv. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX World. Now, with the release of the hostages and the prisoner exchange that has taken place, Israel has upheld its end of the deal. But it has, however, only received 4 of the bodies of the hostages who died in Hamas's captivity. I wanted to understand from you, how will the procedure for recovering the bodies of the other hostages who lost their lives will proceed from here? How does Israel plan to take this up?
Well, good morning. It's undoubtedly the most important thing for Israel was to receive first the live ones, or the live hostages, but also the 28 bodies of all the hostages that are confirmed dead. It's for highly importance for every family to bury them in an honorable way. Don't forget that Israel is in exchange for these dead bodies, changing hundreds of alive prisoners from Hamas and other movements who are, most of them, killers of dozens or hundreds of people. So this is very, very important for Israel. Until now, they failed to fulfill their part in the agreement. They only passed the bodies of 4 deceased civilians and soldiers, Israelis. And in the Israeli side, they did a little ceremony with Israeli flag, with psalms, with rabbis, and they took them, but they took them to check every one of the caskets of these bodies, because in the past, Hamas also mislead Israel, putting other bodies in their place. So they must be checked. And of course, they must return all the other 24 bodies that are still in Gaza. Israel said if they cannot do it, so they must permit a commission of military and civilian people that are specialized to go and found them, people from Israel, United States, Turkey, Egypt, and others, to go and to check where are all these bodies, and to take them back to Israel as is part of the agreement. So this is the situation in this moment.
Indeed. And will Israel be taking this up in the second phase of negotiations if the bodies are not returned on time?
Look, Israel has done other ceasefire agreements. I know that this is with more importance, because also Trump is involved and is part of a plan of trying to give a standing situation that can lead to peace and stabilization of the region. But also in the agreements with Lebanon and Hezbollah, also the security agreements that under the table has been taken also with Syria. And in every case, Israel said that if they are not going to fulfill their part, they are going to answer. And to answer can be from strongly condemning to strongly responding militarily. And then the agreement is not going forward. Israel sees the same importance to the living civilians that they were passed to Israel as to the bodies of the Israeli. So they must fulfill their part. If they are going to say maybe that one or two, because of the military skirmishes and fightings, has been left in some place that they cannot found, maybe in that case is going to be people that are going to try and find them. And anyway, full implementation of all the accords is not going to be from Israeli side if Hamas behave in this way.
All right, sir, requesting you to stay on with us as we're tracking further updates. In the meantime, we're learning that Israelis have shown a sense of relief and joy today itself, which is the day after Hamas has freed the last of the living Israeli hostages from Gaza under the ceasefire deal, even as US President Donald Trump has declared the end of the 2-year-long war that has upended the broader Middle East. The Israeli military has stated that it had received all 20 live hostages after the transfer from Gaza by the Red Cross. The announcement prompted cheering, hugging and weeping amongst thousands waiting at the hostage square in Tel Aviv. Let's in fact listen in to what some of the Israelis have had to say.
First, I have to say that I felt immense happiness and joy. Who could ask more than that? The release of all the hostages. Of course, there is sadness in the fact that the dead hostages haven't been returned yet. Hopefully, it will change, and all the hostages will come back home. Some to healing, to medical assistance, and some to burial. Okay, that's my hope.
I believe it was a very happy moment for the whole country, seeing all these hostages coming back to Israel and being able to be reunited with their families after 2 years of captivity. Unfortunately, we still have hostages. I mean, although we're talking about dead hostages, retrieval of bodies is as important as just bringing back the living hostages, especially because in Judaism, being able to bury the body is very important. So I do hope we will continue on this path and we will be able to retrieve all the bodies